right, welcome back. The snowstorm hit. We got about 10 inches of snow and it's still coming down. The lake effect's kicking in now, so the major storm is done. And we got about, in the area they were calling for, 10 to 12 inches plus. And then we're supposed to get another 5 tonight through Monday, so we're just gonna let it snow and get that cleaned up. But we got, today we're gonna take the Cub Cadet 1862 garden tractor and we're gonna get the bulk of it off with that. And then we're gonna come back behind it with the Kubota and we're gonna scrape it down so when the ground gets hard, or when it gets cold this weekend, later this weekend and early this week, next week, it will freeze without a big crusty layer on there. The snowblower tractor does all right, the Cub Cadet. It gets the bulk of it off, but it does like to get stuck when you put it in reverse, and there's just not enough weight on it. And I got weights for it, but with those, kind of a pain to put on, so I might get to that later this year. But the system we use works for us, so I guess why switch a good thing. So we're gonna get the bulk of it off with the garden tractor, and then we're gonna come up behind it with the Cub Cadet and scrape the driveway part down just to eliminate losing so much gravel. With the Cub Cadet we can build a base, and with the Kubota we can come back and scrape and kind of tilt the bucket, heel the bucket to push the rest of it until we get that base where it'll freeze, and then you can just drop the bucket all the way down on the Cub Cadet or the Kubota and stack it up. Which I would like to use the Cub Cadet all the time just so I don't have all these piles everywhere, but sometimes it's easier just to use the Kubota because it does scrape better and you don't look like an abominable snowman when you are done. So we're gonna get on that garden tractor and we're gonna start pushing some snow, and then we'll follow it up with the Cub Cadet. So turn that fan off so you guys can hear me. But we got it done with this, most of it off with this, the bulk, and then we came back in with the the Kubota, and we scraped her down. So that'll be ready to go for the next time. I'm sure we'll be doing it again later tonight and tomorrow, so I'll take you guys along with that. And then we got some other projects coming up here with that window and some other miscellaneous things here. A lot of snow kind of slowed us down on some things, but it'll pick us up on some other. We can get some trees down, and once the ground freezes up here next week, we can get them down without making a mess. We got a big maple we're going to take down and extend that gravel parking area this spring, but we'll take that maple down here in the next week or so. And then I woke up this morning to I got a crabapple tree out front, and there was so much snow on it, it broke the top of it right off, which I don't really care for the tree. It flowers in the spring and looks nice for about a week, and then I like it in the winter because I can sit in my chair and look at the birds. I got bird feeders in it, but I'm thinking if once all this snow melts and if it doesn't fluff back up and look uniform, then I think we're going to have to cut that tree down too and have my buddy come out and stump grind it down or something, because and think about another tree we're going to have to replace it with in the spring, because that tree, I've been trimming it for a couple years, but in the fall it's a mess with all the crab apples, but in the spring it looks nice, in the summer it's not bad, and then in the winter I like it. So we'll figure out a plan for the bird feeders there, and what we got to do with that tree after the snow kind of settles and comes off the limbs. But like I was saying, we got the main bulk of it done with this garden tractor. And I wouldn't mind selling this tractor to get a walk-behind snowblower. I think it would be easier. It might take a little longer, but sometimes this can just be a pain or not. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not, just depending on the weather. And then I bulked it out with Kubota to scrape it down, to get it right down closer to the gravel. Kind of heeled it in with the back of the bucket, put it on float mode, and that scraped her down. But we'll have to do some more plowing and scraping here in the next couple days, because the snow doesn't look like it's going to quit until the middle of next week, Wednesday or so maybe. There's snow on the next 7-day forecast, but towards the end of next week it's just a slight chance. So we'll get caught up there with everything, and I'm sure in the spring we'll have to assess the damage, with a couple pieces of sod. You always dig in more than you want and scrape down, and you always got to add a little topsoil and some grass seed when you're done plowing and refreshing up the gravel, because you always lose more gravel than you want. But stay with us here as we make more videos. We're getting back on that YouTube thing like I said in the last video, and we're going to go sit by the fire here and start editing this video for you guys. I'm hoping to have it out Sunday morning. So thanks for being here, and we'll see you on the next go around.